Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this plant hanger. So to create this plant hanger you're going to need 8 lots of 180cm cord, 1 lot of sort of 40 to 50 centimeters, and 1 5.5cm hoop. You could use slightly bigger if you want, but I wouldn't recommend going any smaller than that. So to start off we're going to take our 8 cords and split them in half, and then we're going to take the middle point and pass that through the hoop so the middle point sits on the bottom of the hoop, like so. And once you've done that, we are going to be creating rows of double clove hitch knots. So take the first cord on the left, take the second cord up and over that first cord that you're holding in your hand, and then it's going to go through that loop that's there. And then pull that tight just to the bottom of the hoop so it sits on the bottom. And then repeat that with the same cord, so up, over, behind, and then through that loop. And then pull that snug against the other knot, and that is a double clove hitch knot. And now we're just going to repeat that with the cord next to it, still going at this angle down towards the right. So on this side you've made 3 double clove hitch knots. And now we are going to take that first cord on the right and do the exact same going towards the left. So take the second cord up, over, behind, and then through that loop. And then just repeat it once more on these cords to create that double clove hitch knot. If you want a more in-depth tutorial all about macrame knots, I have one on my channel and I'll link it in the description down below. And so repeat all those steps until you get to the middle, and then we're going to join the 2 rows together. So I like to do a double clove hitch knot going towards the right, but whatever direction you choose to do, just make sure you do that for every row so they all look the same. So now we are just going to do the second row, so take the first cord again on the left and just repeat these steps until you have 5 rows in total. So once you have 5 rows in total on this side, we can just flip the hoop around and do 5 rows on the other side, making sure that top of each row, like here, just sits at the bottom of the hoop. So on the other side it will be the exact same. Now that both sides are done, we can start on the square knots, which is where your plant will sit. So you can see we've got 2 groups of 4 on both sides, and we're going to use them to create square knots. You take the first group of 4 here and measure about 24 centimeters down from the last point, and then take the cord on the right and go over the middle 2 and behind that cord on the left, the first cord. Take that first cord, the one on the left, behind the middle 2 and then through this hoop here. And then we're going to repeat that, just starting with the left. So the left goes over the middle 2 and behind the fourth. The fourth will go over that one, behind the middle 2 and through that loop. And that is a square knot. But again, if you want a more in-depth and slower tutorial, I show it in my macrame knots video. So I'm just repeating this with the other group of 4 on this side at the exact same height as this one. Now that these 2 are done, you can just flip the hoop around again and repeat the exact same on the other side. So measure 24 centimeters down and create 2 square knots. So now we need to create our second row of square knots. So you can see I'm leaving out the end 2 cords on either side and creating one using the 4 cords that are left in the middle. Measure about 6 centimeters down from your first row and create 1 more square knot on both sides. Now in order to join these sides together to create the bowl where your plant will sit, you can see you've got 2 cords left on either side on both sides. And you will join these 2 cords together like this with a square knot. So repeat this on both sides. And once you've done that, you should be able to see exactly where your plant will sit and how it will hold in place. Now we can take that extra cord, the 40 centimeter one, and we're going to create a wrapping knot about 8 centimeters down from the last row of square knots. So take that cord with a little tail at the top here, and then we're going to create this long U shape like this. And then just wrap this around about 4 or 5 times. You can see here I've got the loop at the bottom and the small tail at the top, and I'm just wrapping that longer tail around. So once you've done sort of 4 or 5 wraps, you can pass that longer tail through that loop there and just hold that in place briefly, and then if you pull on the little tail at the top, you can see that loop starts to close and it will secure that strand in place. So pull it so it's about halfway through the knot. You don't want to pull it all the way through, as that will undo the knot and you'll have to start again. So once that's done, you can then take your scissors and just trim the excess cord. And you can see it's nice and neat here. You can trim the bottom cords if you want. I just like to leave mine as they are. And now what that's left to do is to put your plant in and enjoy your plant hanger. I really hope you like this tutorial, and if you do make it, please be sure to tag me on Instagram at lunacraftsonline. I would love to see your creation and share it. And if you could subscribe, like or comment, that would really make my day, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!